Susie, thank you for having me over.
Thanks for coming.
Talking about lighting with you. What was it that initiated the call? Have you heard of our company, and what made you think about landscape lighting for your house?
Yeah, we've heard great things about your company. Our neighborhood is very dark. There are no street lights or anything like that, and so we really wanted to help it to feel safer and a more inviting place. We have old lighting that I'm not sure if any of it's usable.
Okay.
That we were hoping to see if it could be used or just needed to be completely replaced.
Okay. Yeah, and that's usually a step. On the initial phone call you had mentioned that with Karen, that you said that you have an existing system. Do you know who put it in or where it came from?
I don't. It was here when we moved in.
It was here when you, has it ever worked?
Not while we've been here, no.
Oh, really? Okay. How long have you lived in the house for?
Good question. 6 years?
Okay.
No, 7 years.
Okay. So it'd be nice to get some lighting on it. So what was it that initiated this call? Is there anything coming up, or is there just you're tired of not having lights on the front of the house?
Yeah, we had a lot of work to do to get the house kind of up to par, and this is kind of the next step of where we were hoping to be. Lighting
is usually like one of the last things people do for some reason. I love it, and I'm always like, when you move into a house, I get the lighting done. But you have so much to do in those first, a lot of times people do all those jobs their first year when they move in, and then they take a break for a couple of years because they're tired of it. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my company. Here's my card.
Okay.
This is a company, Dayloom. So we have been in business 26 years. We've done thousands of installations. All we do is landscape lighting. It's our focus. It's a passion of mine. I love what the impact lighting can have and really just focus on the outdoors. We have thousands and thousands of projects we've done. We took our name Dayloom, and really the meaning behind the name, it had to do with how do you extend your evening hours. So the way we pictured it is if you have that beautiful sunset that you're just enjoying and watching the sun go down, and then it gets dark, what typically happens, everybody goes inside. And we wanted to showcase how can you make those evenings last longer, and how do you create the come on over home, a property that family and friends like to gather at, that's just warm and welcoming. And lighting has such an impact on how you feel on the inside. Lighting impacts theatrical lighting. Everything that we do, lighting is something that impacts us emotionally. And so, we're big proponents of making your house feel warm and welcoming at night, and then also creating space in the backyard to unwind and relax. And one of the big things is just getting people outside. So often family gets home, it's night, and everybody gets in front of the TV, and there's not that connection. And if you can have that moments where you're outside, you have a fire going, you're surrounded by lights, you have music, you could just create an environment that you could actually connect in. And so these are some of our projects that we've done. So we've won a number of awards. These are all awards. I think we've won 4 international awards, 8 North American awards. Actually, last year we had the Commercial Project of the Year for the Barnes & Wolf Trap, and then we did the Carlisle House, which is a beautiful historic home in Alexandria, Virginia. And so we believe in great lighting design and building things out. In fact,
this looks like a painting.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
That was a house in Reston. It was a retired couple, and this is looking out on their deck. The bench was actually his retirement present from the company, and so we highlighted that. But you can see it's really soft, beautiful lighting. This is one of the projects.
I was just going to say about that one.
I'm very proud of that one. That was done with the Willing Warriors in Haymarket. And so it's a rehabilitation center for soldiers after they're in Walter Reed or one of the hospitals. Just a place for their families to come back and gather. And so it actually needed to be brighter because a lot of times you have veiling reflectors. You can't see past the windows at night. So if you're sitting in this room at night and you have the lights on, you can't see anything outside. So we want to break the plane of lighting by lighting the trees and actually ease their feeling and made them feel more comfortable. This was our big award.
Oklahoma University.
Oh yeah, we were at OU. We did a lighting training program there.
Very cool.
So that was with Illy, a group we're part of. And this was our Lit Awards. We won 2 awards. We're the only company in North America that won 2 awards in 1 year.
Congratulations.
And here they are. So this one was in Cat Harpin, Virginia, and in Haymarket, Virginia. This one was rated as one of the top 20 projects internationally of the decade.
Wow.
This was the #1 project, and my family got to go to Greece and accept the award. So that was a huge honor.
You did lighting in Greece?
We had accepted the award there, but we're actually going to Greece in October So we have a big lighting training event, and myself and the designer from the Acropolis is actually doing a training program there. So
That's really cool.
this is the Barnes and Wolf trap that we did.
Very lovely.
The Wheeling Warriors, Carlisle House. So some of the photos to get an idea with lighting. And the other big thing is we didn't like the quality of the products that were being made out there, and I'm going to show you some of our products. We actually decided to make our own product line. We sell it throughout America. We just opened up Canada, the Caribbean.
Wow.
So we're growing, and one thing we believe in is supporting the local economy. So we set our headquarters in Danville, Virginia, and so we're actually looking to bring more and more manufacturing back to Virginia.
Very cool.
And we also offer audio as well. It's another service we have. But that's the idea behind Dayloom, and what our company does. And it's designed to be beautiful designs that are built to last. So you can put in a lighting system, and 20 years later, it still looks beautiful, still looks elegant. And what I want to show real quick before I get into your home is just different techniques in lighting design. So these are the six of the top designers in North America. This is a good friend of mine out in Hollywood, California.
That's sweet.
Yeah, you see how beautiful it looks. It's really elegant. So he uses a lot of darkness. So you could see one of my favorite projects and favorite photos is this photo here. So this is what the statue looked like at the daytime.
Okay.
So one thing you notice is all of this busyness around it. With the lighting, we're able to control what somebody's eye and focus somebody's eyes on what they see. So we made all of this go dark and went with a real warm color on the statue, brought out the flowers, so it's just elegant, it's beautiful, and really it looks better at night than it does during the day. So this is another great lighting designer, just to get a totally different design. This is a good friend in Miami. Bright, vibrant, beautiful, so totally different than the last lighting designer. And I believe like artistic lighting, there isn't a right way to do it. There is a wrong way to do it. But
But there are different right ways.
There's different right ways to do it. And so what you're noticing, there's not a lot of light glare. The great lighting designers, they're not putting in tons of colors. In fact, you could see they could use accent colors, but they're not doing like red and green trees. It really doesn't fit well in residential properties. It looks more commercial. But you don't see the light source. You see fully what the object you're trying to light up.
This is really pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty. This is our company here.
Oh, lovely.
So that was a house in Catharpin. It's actually an old Sears and Roebucker house that they just kept building onto, and he's been there for 50 years.
Oh, that's cool.
And you see, rather than doing path lights, we had down lighting on it. This is a soft little bench scene.
I love that.
Backyard. It's actually hard to see in this photo, but this is the feature focus here, where they had a little seating bench. And it's funny, the customer said, why are we going to focus on that? Nobody is going to go down there at night. But it's just a destination for your eye to go to. And so after we put it in, they turned all their chairs to look at that. And they're like, it just looks cool to have a visual destination to go to.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, so that's down lighting. Down lighting is a huge aspect of what we do, where we're tying the trees into the ground so it doesn't look like the trees are just floating in darkness. We bring it all together, and so, yeah, so I believe lighting is artistic and scientific. It's got a combination of both that we're trying to do. Is you need the science side of it, where we're building out products that are going to last and have great light quality, but then the artistic side of creating a scene that you don't notice the lighting, where it just feels comfortable. And great lighting, typically people don't notice the lighting, they just say, I feel very comfortable in this situation. And in fact, there was a study done, it was done by one of the restaurants, Rainforest Cafe, that they were looking to see where do people feel most comfortable, because they put in color changing lights and they actually lost business. And then after the study, they found most people feel comfortable around a campfire, just that warm glow. And so we want to create it in a natural way and make it feel comfortable. So when you're sitting in your backyard, you come pulling in your driveway, it looks beautiful, it looks elegant, and really stands out. And I'll show you the second side of that is the product, as I fall onto the chair. So when I said I didn't like the quality of products being made, so many of them are being made that they were lightweight, they're aluminum, they were made out of materials that didn't last. And if we're going to spend this much time building out and designing something special, we want the products to last. And so this is one of our downlights here.
Wow.
So they're real heavy duty.
Yeah, they are.
What's unique about it is the light output. Like I'm a lighting designer, so I'm going to make a light fixture. I focus on light output. So it's got perfect light output. 97 to 99 CRI just means it's got great lighting in it. If we have great light quality and we control it, then things look more natural. We're able to pick up a lot more colors. Like a typical tree, just in a leaf, might have 5 different shades of green in one leaf. And if we could pick all of that up, it looks more vibrant and beautiful. It's like high definition television. So.
And these are made out of?
These are solid brass.
Oh, wow.
And
And you could color brass.
Yeah, so they last a long time. The big design difference is most lights are either retrofit, where they just put a lamp into it. That's nice because it's easy to service, but you have issues that down the road, you're constantly servicing them. They don't last as long, you get half the life. Or they make an integrated light, so if a little electronic goes out in this, you throw the whole light away. In my opinion, that's like the most wasteful thing, because if you have a big heavy duty like this and you lose a $5 electronic piece, you shouldn't throw the whole light away. So we made all of ours serviceable. So if this 10 years down the road, the lamp goes out, we can unscrew it, screw a new one in, and then you keep this heavy duty casing on it.
Sounds like a lot of thought went into it.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me at all on lighting, or any thoughts? Obviously, like what my next steps are going to be is to go and look at your existing lighting system and do we have about a 22-point diagnostic system where we're going to go through and look at your transformer, your wiring, your fixtures, your connections, your wire depth, and give a full assessment. My feeling is I would rather either not do anything than to put Band-Aids on something and 3 months later you're calling me because it doesn't work, and I inherit all the problems not knowing the issues. So we want to do a full diagnostic on your system, look and see what's going to happen. If we could save some money, say with the transformer or existing wire, if things are done right, we're happy to do that. It saves us time, and our company's already busy, so that's always a good savings. But before I do that, I was going to show you just the possibilities, because I looked at your current, just walking in real fast, I looked at the current fixture placement, and it looked like you had about 10 to 14 lights, most of them are on the landscaping. And so we came up with another plan, and this is just, as soon as you put a phone call in, my design team sits down, we start looking at like, what are the options for lighting? And so, sorry if I show you this?
Yeah, that's
okay. And this is not something you have to do, but it's great to know all your options instead of just saying, let's go ahead and put a Band-Aid on everything. But if you're starting from scratch, or if we could use the existing system.
I'd be a little surprised if anything we have actually works.
This is an idea of your home right now. So this is just us looking online, looking at the photographs you sent in, and getting working documentation. What we always like to have is full-scale drawings, and we like to have working documentation on what we're going to do. I had a house that I was building, and at the beginning I didn't have working documents, and so we were making decisions as we went. So then I went back, hired the architect, got all the drawings in, and then everybody knew where to work from. And so often in landscape lighting, somebody comes by, they throw some flags down, the installers come out to install it, and the homeowner doesn't really know what they're getting and what the plans are, and a lot of times the plans are just being made up on the fly. So we want to provide full documentation, so at the end of it we could actually show transformer placement, wire runs, we could do as much as you would like us to do, but there's a lot of options that you can have here. I noticed coming in, you didn't have any lights on the house, no path lights. You had a couple of the trees lit and a couple of the trees. These are what we'd recommend. You had the Zelkova trees, you had the red maples, you had the crepe myrtles on either side, and then some lighting on the front of the house. And I'll show you, just to get an idea. So this is what I was thinking on the front of your house. So you have the two Zelkovas up front. Your home is a beautiful home, so lighting just makes so much sense, and your landscaping is so established at this point. You have this huge Japanese maple. We can't see the crepe myrtles on the sides, but from different angles you're going to see that. So we would look to have lighting on the house, probably have a little second story lighting, and even a light up on this peak, light on the stonework on the garage. Path lights are an option. That's something that can be done. But all of it is something that you could pick and choose. I could write everything out, itemize it all for you, you talk it over and decide like what is most important to you and what you like to have. But if it were my house, this is what I would do.
That's beautiful.
So.
It's really impressive. You can create all this just on a computer.
Yeah, we have a full-time architect that works for us, and so we're able to come up with your drawings and your renderings. It's just so many of my customers are visual. I'm very visual, so I like these for working documents. But if you just handed me this, I'm not going to picture what it's going to look like. If you can see what it's going to look like, it just makes it easier to know what you're getting. And it looks like do you spend a lot of time up on the front porch?
Yes.
So that just warms everything up. If we have, from the perspective of like, say, lighting the alcovas, we could light it so it's from the front, but also when you're looking out, you're looking and seeing something which just looks really pretty.
So this looks so beautiful and so complete. If you didn't do everything, what would be, I don't know what you could possibly...
First thing I'd probably take out is the path light. So, and that's what I'll divide it up and tier it up. So I'll put it in tiers. So the path lights are functional lights, and I think you're going to get a lot of lighting from the light stonework. You get the reflective lighting coming off of that. There's not changes of elevation, so I think we're okay if you didn't have path lights. They're nice. They add a little extra. After that, I would choose, currently you have just lighting on the landscaping, so what's more important, the architecture or the landscaping itself? And then the other option is, do you want the front or back? So this is just some ideas on the back of the property. And this is a winter shot, but you have some trees right out here that would look really pretty in your sunroom. You could do some down lighting. That would be probably one of the first things I'd take out, but we could go up higher, put some down lighting on that, light up the back wall. So these are all things that can be done with lighting. But if it were my house and how things look, I'd probably start in the front and then pick and choose, what's best for you. But we try and make it easy. So, by segment it out, like it makes it easier to fit into whatever budget you're working in and build it out from there.
Beautiful.
Well, that gives you an idea of what's possible, but I think the next step is for me to go outside. I have Josh, my operations manager, is meeting me. He's been with me like 24 years. We're going to spend probably about 2 hours looking at your existing system and walking through that. Once we get done with that, we'll give you our assessment on that, and then I'll be able to give you a proposal on what my recommendations would be moving forward. And then we can take it from there.
Excellent. Thank you.